Hey guys, before we start today's episode, I would love to introduce you to our wonderful sponsors, the Bain and Associates Concierge Company. So if you live in the city of Boston or Massachusetts and you need an apartment caretaker that will handle your packages, guide your front entrance, dinner reservation, cab reservation, bar appointments, event scheduling, make sure you give them a visit at devinandassociates.com because they got you. They are the best in the business. When I mean the best, they are the best. And make sure you tell Galen I sent you. Okay? What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the I'm Not Lucky, I Am Blessed podcast, episode number 15. And, guys, as usual, I have a special guest in the building with me, okay? But before I introduce our special guest, guys, if this is your first time watching or listening to this podcast, please, I want you to subscribe and also share it with your friends. That will help us grow and, fulfill our purpose, which is to reach out to people and empower and motivate them. So, with that said, as promised, I have a special guest in the building with me. Very good friend of mine. We came to the United States the same day.
Yeah.
We've been. I wouldn't call him a friend. I'll call him a brother. We've been together for like
Six,
6 years, 6 or 7 years. Yeah, 6 or 7 years. And over the past 7 years, it's been beautiful how we've separated, we've come back together, and just seeing him grow. And he's at a level in his life right now that I admire, and I honestly just wanted to bring him here and let him share some of his knowledge with you guys and also with myself. So, guys, make some noise for the one and only Divine Moses.
Hey. Thank you so much for having me here, Lucky.
Always a pleasure.
And yeah, by the way, it's actually 7 years this month.
This November, yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
7 years. No.
Time flies. Time
It
flies.
does,
So
it
we've been in the
does.
state for 7 years. Wow, God is good.
Yeah.
Seven wonderful years.
Yeah, we'll 6. May will be 7.
Oh.
Kaplan.
Oh yeah, Kaplan 6. Oh, it's 7.
Kaplan
Yeah.
7. May will
May-
be 7. In
May
the
14th or so, or May 13th or something like that.
25th,
20
24th, 25th.
Oh yeah, so
I
yeah.
have those dates in my head.
Special days.
Yeah, they are. They are special dates. Man.
Yeah. So quick question. This is a question I always love to start my podcast with. Do you believe you're lucky or you're blessed? And why?
I am blessed. I see luck. I think luck comes with, like they say, it's opportunity
Yeah.
plus preparedness equals luck. But I am more than lucky. I am blessed, and this is why I am blessed. I know without a shadow of doubt. Of course, God's hand is upon my life,
Yeah.
and I think if it's just by luck, then I wouldn't be here because there were several times like I had the opportunity to travel outside the country. I had the opportunity. I was prepared, but it did not work out.
Yeah.
Like the coming from Delta State, from Nigeria, my state alone, we had to write like several exams before coming to Kaplan, meeting you guys in Lagos.
Yeah.
So I had done that like 2 years before. I did that the previous year. I was prepared,
Yeah.
and there was an opportunity to travel, but it did not
It
happen.
doesn't happen.
So
Yeah.
that's to be called luck. So I don't think that's not. I'm not just lucky. I am blessed.
blessed,
I am
yeah.
highly
Highly
favored because
yeah.
I had opportunity. I was prepared, but I still did not come to the US then until favor.
Like you said, you were prepared.
I was prepared. I went to write exams. I was prepared. There was the opportunity, which
Yeah.
was writing the exam, but still I wasn't called. Other people were called. I wasn't called. Does that mean I'm not lucky? I was. This if they say luck is equals to opportunity plus preparedness, then I was lucky, but still I did not come into the US then.
Yeah.
So I think I am blessed. I don't think I
know.
know
Yeah.
I am blessed.
I love that. Thanks for sharing that with us, man. Same here. I don't believe I'm lucky at all.
Even though your name is lucky.
Even though my name is lucky, and that's why I keep the name. The name is just a reminder that actually I'm blessed, not lucky. You
Yeah.
understand? People have told me, hey, you should change your name to blessing, or you change your name to something else. I'm like, no,
No, it's fine.
it's fine. That doesn't mean I believe in luck. I mean, sometimes I get lucky. Life naturally. There's sometimes that you're like, oh, I'm lucky. I didn't even know.
Yeah.
But now I'm at that stage where I don't even see it as luck. You understand, right? I see it as blessings.
Yeah, you can say you being lucky, it's God's luck
God's
in you, which is favor.
yeah, which is favor. Yeah, yeah. Okay, so today, Moses and I will be talking about a very, very important topic, and it's called. We're going to be talking about helping people discover their talents.
Yes.
Yeah, how important that is. You know why you should discover your talent, and your gift and talent and everything. Your passion, whatever it is that God has called you out for. We want to talk about the importance of that, and yeah, that's what we're going to talk about. So, real quick, Moses, can you give us a brief background of how you started, your life and how you got here?
Okay, so just real quick, I'm the ninth of 14 or 15, so I have 14 other siblings.
Wow.
And of course, Nigeria family, polygamous home, and all of that.
Yeah.
And yes, like finished high school, got scholarship to study in the United States and all of that.
Yeah.
And recently, someone asked me the question, what was it like growing up in Nigeria? And it's funny that I have to think about it because I'm like, I really do not. I have to think about it because, and I thought about it because while I was in Nigeria,
Yeah.
I was actually not in Nigeria. While I grew up in Nigeria, I was not in Nigeria because all my thought had always been traveling around the world. That had always been my thought. My thought had always been traveling around the world, standing on those big stages to sing.
Yeah.
So when I watched like Grammy, when I watched all of this people, American superstars sing, perform on stage, I'd always seen myself there. So daydreaming had always been my lifestyle. So that was why when the person asked, what was it like growing up in? I'm like,
I was not actually in Nigeria. I was
daydreaming. I grew up in Nigeria. I was physically in Nigeria. But I wasn't. So
wow.
I couldn't even understand. I really don't know how it was growing up in Nigeria because all my life was not in Nigeria. In my head, there were times I would tell myself, you know what, once I travel outside, if I was in America, my voice would sound better when I'm singing. It would not sound this cracky because in Nigeria we have to eat all the oily food and everything that bothers the voice. But I had always told myself that if I'm in America, my voice is gonna sound better. I'm gonna sing better. It's just crazy.
You're here.
So I'm here.
Are you surprised?
Yesterday I thought about it and I was like, you know what? Being in America was part of God's plan for my life. See, He orchestrates our life's journey.
Yeah.
And I just thought, literally yesterday, I was like, you know what? Being in America was part of God's script for me. Because I'm like, I don't know. Like, I don't know what I would have been doing if I was still in Nigeria. I don't know how my life would have been. So I just think that it's part of God's plan. Yes, I'm still overwhelmed. Like, some days I'm like, wow, I'm literally in America. I still think about that, but I'm thankful to God because that's part of His script for me to be here. So it's funny, but yeah.
Yeah. So
I love it.
I'm glad. So you said 14 kids, right?
Yeah.
How was it like, in a family with 14 kids, like, and how did you get this chance to be chosen among 14 kids? I bet you wasn't easy.
So I mean, that's definitely a topic for another day because first of all, in that family, it's a broken home. Yeah. So my parents are separated, and I mean, the memories I have about my parents together are just memories of them fighting, and my dad using my mom as a punching bag. So those were memories I had. But growing up and just being in America, I had to change those because I don't want to be a victim of circumstances. I don't want to leave the victim life. I don't want to play the victim game. I don't even like it when I see people play the victim game. I'm like, bro, just suck it up and deal with it and move on. It's like so. Yes, it was quite a hassle, but for some reason, I just felt like I'd always been not really quite pampered. I'd always been protected. Yeah. Somehow, it's like divine. I just have the better part of it. I don't even know how it works, but
so that's a beautiful name.
Yeah. It's somehow I've just been divine. Like it just works out for me. I don't even know. And yes, I had siblings who traveled out of the country before me. Yeah. But they ended up back in Nigeria and not living to the best of their abilities. Yeah. But me, I'm here and now everybody's just like, everyone wants to hear from me. Everyone is like, what are you doing? Everybody just wants to get from me. Everybody, even my older siblings are like seeking advice from me. What should I do with this? And I'm like, it's just a little me.
Yeah.
But
no, a divine you.
a divine, oof, you gotta preach.
No, because honestly, like with what you're saying, it's just that name divine just sets you apart from the rest of the crowd.
The truth is,
Yeah, it does.
divine. You know, in Nigeria, a lot of people go by that name, divine.
Yeah.
For some reason, just being in America, the Americans made a big deal out of the name, and then I'm like, there is more to that name than just the name, because God literally gave me that name, divine.
Yeah.
Like, your name is divine. He told me like this was my name, and I was still in high school then, so I had the name, but I really did not tell people about the name so much until maybe getting to Kaplan and all that. Like, God literally told me this. I was 14 then. And he said, this was your name, divine. And that was how the name came about. And I'm like, okay, divine. And so just being in America and everything I do and it just happens to be divine. And if you try to describe me, and even with every other person, like when my friends, you guys try to describe me, okay, somebody tells you, oh, who's divine? Describe him. After you do everything, you just end up by saying, it's just divine. Somehow
you
just
sum it up with he's just divine.
It's just divine. That's divine. There's nothing to do. And I think this ties back to the topic we're talking about today, like just discovering your purpose and just finding who you are. A quick story. So I love to cook.
Okay.
And I realized that cooking is a gift for me.
Oh, wow.
And I say that because recently I learned how to bake bread on YouTube.
Okay.
I learned how to make meat pies from YouTube, like our Nigerian meat pies and everything. And I made it. It was really so good, and people just loved it. So I had to do it. I did it at my church children's birthday. So Gloria and Gloria, I made it at their birthday. So I baked cake and made meat pie at their birthday.
Yeah.
And bread. And so people came, and then it was really good. And one woman had me come teach her how to bake bread. And this is someone who has a big restaurant in Nigeria.
Wow.
This is something I learned on YouTube.
On YouTube.
And she wanted me to come teach her how to bake the bread. I was like, okay. I was going to go do it for free. And then Mrs. Estelle here, which is Mama Glory and Gloria's mom, she was like, no, charge her. Tell her like she has to pay. I was like, okay, I'll do that. And then I did it, and I went to teach her how to bake the bread. We learned it the first day, and somehow she said the bread did not come out good, and then I was like, okay, it's fine. You're not going to pay me again. I'll go back again to teach you how to bake the bread. And I did it, and it was okay. And then she tried to bake it herself, and then she called me. She was like, the bread doesn't taste like the one you made. Like, what is the extra thing you did? I'm like, there's no extra thing. I taught you everything, like the ingredient, the measurement, everything. I gave it to you. And she's like, I don't know why the bread doesn't come out like the way it's coming out. I was like, I don't know too. But then after a while, I started thinking about it. I'm like, you know what? It's not the recipe, it's the hands.
Ooh.
Bro, I'm not even kidding. It's not the recipe.
It's not the recipe.
It's the hands.
The hand.
Did you know that even back in school,
Yeah.
Blessing and I, my best friend, we would, the same ingredient, we were a housemate at some point, the same ingredients in the house, pepper, nothing different. We would cook the same food, but they would taste so different. Totally different. Then, it was after teaching this woman that all of those things came
Started
to
ring.
me. And I'm like, it's not the recipe, it's the hand. Because this was the same thing, because I haven't referred her to YouTube videos, go watch them. But I realized that it's not the recipe, it's the hands, honestly.
Wow.
And I want to say something about, there's a difference between being gifted and being talented. Two different things.
Two different things. I need to.
I mean, it's your podcast, so
No.
you want to take it.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, thanks for reminding me.
I mean, it's your podcast, so you want to. But there's a difference between being gifted and being talented. A gifted person was born with it. They don't need to struggle.
Yeah.
See, I don't need to rehearse before I sing. I mean, I rehearse to sing just to make sure my musicians are all in order and everything.
Yeah.
But you can bring me to a random place, new musicians, people who know their stuff, a good keyboardist who knows his stuff, and I will just sing. They know what to play. I don't need to rehearse with them because this is what I was born. This is my gift. I was born a singer, so I don't need to overthink. I just open my mouth and sing. You wake me up, I'm ready to sing. I'm driving, I'm ready to sing. I was born with it. Now, a talented singer is one who wasn't born with that gift, but they learned it. They learned the gift. So they learned it. So what they do is, if they want to sing, they have to sometimes rehearse and all of that. And sometimes some of them they have it. They don't really need to rehearse. I mean, but the talented singer they practice it over and over and over and over again, and just to be perfect at it. So there's that talented one whom the talented person wasn't really born with the gift. They had to learn it because of the love they have for it, the passion they have for it. A gifted singer, even if they don't have passion for singing, when they open their mouth to sing, you hear something. You hear quality. So people who are talented most times are like they're very passionate. So you see some people they're like, oh, I'm passionate with singing. I'm passionate about music. Music is my passion. All well and good. You can do it well, but is that really your gift? Some people they are very good singers. They are very talented singers, but maybe their gift is to just make music, be in the background and make music and let other people sing it, not them singing it. I don't know if that makes sense. But so there's that one. Now for me, I don't even know yet if I'm a born cook or I'm just a talented. I don't know. I think both, because like I said, it's not the recipe, it's the hand, because it was the same thing I made and I make it the same thing, nothing different, but it just turns out that it's different. So even if I teach someone my signature recipe, it's still not going to taste the same. It's just unique, and I just think that's the way it is. So there's just a huge difference between being talented and being gifted, because some people mix both. They think, oh, I'm good. In fact, that's why you have all these talent shows. It's a place to go discover your talent, and sometimes you find out that it's the born singers or the people who are born with that gift that usually excel. I don't know how it happens, but I just think.
Can I share with you something?
Mm-hmm.
Couple of questions that I want to ask you based on this topic. I love what you just said, how you differentiate between being gifted and being talented.
Mm-hmm.
Mind blowing. First question is, I think I might drop these two questions at once, so you can answer them. First question is, do you think people that are born gifted should sleep with their gift? Because you say people that are born gifted don't really like to rehearse, or they just open their mouth and sing and they go with it.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think people that are born gifted should go to sleep with their gift and not work on improving it? Because practice brings
perfection.
It's never progress.
Yes.
You grow, and I feel like because you're gifted, I still think there is still room for you to. You have an edge, huge edge over people that are talented. So imagine if you don't rehearse and you sound that good, what will happen if you rehearse? And that is where I always say I don't use the word talent. For me, it's hard work and talent. I never thought it from gifted. I thought hard work, talent is someone that was born with it. Hard work is someone that worked for it. You get right? And that's why I always say, that's why I would say talent beats gift. Because, not to argue with you, but just from my own point of view, because people that are gifted go to sleep with it. They feel like I can just wake up and sing. That's just where I think. While people that are talented are working on their craft, they're working every day, 24/7. And that's why most of all these successful, if you look at it, they're like, I worked on it. They basically weren't born with it. You get right? Mm-hmm. But now we're in a society or in a world where people that are gifted just sleep on their craft. Mm-hmm. You get right? So that's my question. So do you think they should sleep on their gift, or they should work on improving it the same way this talented person is hungry and passionate and banging after it? That's the one question. Now the second question is, the two, which is stronger?
So, just to rephrase, it doesn't mean that one who's talented gift and sleep on your gift.
Yeah.
And of course not. Why would you sleep on your gift? This was what is given to you. You are to use it. Now I'm going to bring the word excellence and perfection. The difference between being perfect and being excellent is once you're perfect, there is no room for improvement. Wow. You're just there. An excellent person means there's always room for improvement. And we want to strive to be excellent because there's always room for excellence and not just to be perfect. Because once you think you are perfect, once you think you're perfect, you start dying.
Yeah.
But excellence, there's always room for improvement. And of course, a gifted person needs to refine it. Like when you see gold in its raw form, it's not appealing to the eyes.
Yeah.
It has to go through fire, it has to go through process and it has to be worked on.
Yeah.
And that is the part of where they say you're developing your talent.
Yes.
I'm just saying that sometimes those things we say you're developing your talent could just be natural born gifts that are going through purification.
Makes sense.
But it's still like their talent. A natural born gift could also be once you talk to people just want to listen.
Wow.
Whether you're joking, whether you're making sense, people just want to listen. That is your gift. Now, it becomes a talent when you probably convert that to a talk show or to becoming a comedian. So that is the gift I can just talk.
Yeah, so the gift basically is
it's usually the raw form.
The raw form.
It's just like it's there, it's in
there.
you.
Yes.
Let me just this book is one of my favorite books. It's Dr. Miles Monroe, In Pursuit of Purpose.
Okay.
I
I
use this book to like literally help myself. Now, it talks about purpose.
First and from rest in peace to the beloved Miles.
Oh yeah, Dr. Miles Monroe, yeah.
Respect that guy so much. Yeah.
This is what he said. God puts in everything the potential and the nature for its purpose. Purpose, therefore, is accompanied by natural abilities. So of course, we're one big deal in this life that people feel so much emptiness and everything is they're in search of purpose. Now, finding your purpose come through from this gift. You find your purpose in life from your gifts. And what are these gifts? Your natural abilities. They are things that you naturally know how to do. You don't need to sweat it. You just know how to do it.
Yeah.
It's just that some people do not know. They haven't paid attention to those natural things. And when I read this, I had to read it over and over and over. Like, at 3 a.m. was when I read this part and I underlined and read it over and over, and it just made sense. What is the natural ability of a fish? To swim.
Yeah.
The fish doesn't think about it. It's its natural ability. It's just there. It's inborn in them. Now, we as humans, like I was talking about talking, some people just talk and everybody wants to listen to them, whether they're talking trash or not. People just want to listen. It's their nature. They don't force people to listen to them. People just want to listen to them when they talk. Now, those are their natural abilities. Now they need to discover the purpose in that. Is my purpose with this gift of knowing how to talk? Is it to educate people, to teach people?
Yeah.
Or to own a talk show where I bring people and enlighten people to inspire them? Or is it to just be a comedian and make people laugh? Which of this path of talking, that is my natural ability, is my purpose in there?
Yeah.
And when you discover that purpose, you focus on it more and then you refine it. Yeah. Because remember, these are still in the raw form. You refine this purpose and then you are happy doing it.
Yes.
Of course, we've always heard about, purpose is what you're happy doing. Finding purpose is you're happy doing this thing. Now, sometimes you can be happy doing something for a while, but after a while you just get bored and like tired and you know what? Yeah. This is not me. But again, these natural abilities just you don't sweat it. You just need to discover what channel is this talking abilities for. Is it for having a talk show like this? Is it for being a comedian? Is it for inspiring people? Or just being a teacher in school? Educating people, you need to understand which of them. And talking about being a teacher in school, now you might probably have the natural ability of just being able to, something that is so complex, you're able to just break
Break
it
it
down
down,
and
yeah.
somebody just understands it. You probably have a calling in teaching.
Ooh.
Because, being in school, and one reason why I want to become an educator, it's one of my dreams to just be an educator. Not just a conventional teacher in school. I would love to teach in college, but it's because of the bad professors I had in college. That is why I wanted to teach. Because sometimes I hear these professors, they are very smart, but they are not great teachers. They do not know how to communicate what they know to the student.
Yeah.
And I think being able to effectively communicate what you know
Yeah.
to someone. If you want to tell me about photosynthesis, if you can teach photosynthesis to a 30-year-old and they totally get it, then you're a great teacher, because being able to break down something that is of
Sorry.
something that is so complex
Yeah. Okay.
to a young person, that makes you a great teacher. So there are all of these things that just people don't need to sleep on their gift. Why are you sleeping on your gift? You think God gave it to you for you to sleep on it? I just think that, how before, like in churches and religious gatherings, they tell us, oh, if you don't do this work, God will raise stone, God will send somebody else to come do your work for you. God will have somebody else. Bro, that is a lie. The truth is, God has assigned each of us purposes and things to do. And if you don't do your work, yes, some other person will come do it, but you are not fulfilling purpose. And you probably might not do it the way it's meant to be done.
Yeah.
Say for instance, to sweep the church. I'm just giving an instance. And probably it's your calling that God has assigned. That is the purpose, sweep the church. And you'll be like, oh, I'm not going to do it. And then you get pastors or people just like, oh, if you don't do it, God will raise stones, somebody else will do it. Yes, somebody else will do it, but
Don't be us.
no, it's meant for divine. No one can do it like divine does it. There are things in this life that you cannot patent. It's just for you. And you want to know an example, is when you write songs. You write a song and nobody in this world, among 7 billion people, nobody has the same song that you wrote. Lyrics might, but nobody sings it like you do. Nobody does it like Lucky does it. These are things like our thumbs are fingerprints are unique. That's how a lot of the things that God has placed in us are unique.
True.
So we just need to get our gifts from the scratch, refine it. They become those talents, and then those gifts that we channel to different places, they become those talents and everything that we use. That's pretty much it. One of my favorite Bible story is the one where the master gave his servants talents, and to one he gave 5 talents, to another he gave 2, to another he gave 1.
Yeah.
One part, the phrase I love so much was where he says, he gave each of them according to their abilities.
Okay.
According to their abilities. Some people will be like, oh, more divine, you do everything, you can do everything, only you sing, only you clean, only you cook, only you children, only you dance. You think I do all of those things? And I'm saying, I have been giving that according to my abilities. And of course, you can tell that I'm very energetic.
Yeah.
Why did God give me that energy? Because of those things. So he gave me, one of the most limiting statements I've heard in this life, most limiting statement, one of the most limiting statements, in fact 2. One of them is, Jack of all trade, master of none. That's a big fat lie. I am a jack of all my trade and a master of all my trade.
Yeah.
What is not my trade? Doing an engineering job. It's not my trade. So if I pick that, then you say I'm a jack of all trade, because that's not my trade. I don't like engineering. I don't even know how to fix. That's not my trade. But you talk about decorating a house, just being creative in the house, just creating music. That is my trade, and I'm a master of my trade. That's one limiting statement that I think we should take. Second one is, you cannot change the world. You just have to do the one you can do. You cannot change. It's a lie. You know why I say that?
Please tell me.
What about Mark Zuckerberg? Mark Zuckerberg has made social media part of our daily life. That millennials cannot wake up in the morning and
No, look on
without
Facebook.
looking
Yeah.
at social media.
Yeah.
What about Amazon? What is he doing? Changing the world. People now see that in the comfort of their house and shop online. Just think, what about Bill Gates, Microsoft? They have changed the world. They have changed the way people live their lives. They have changed.
It's my gift.
Don't
Discover my
even
gift.
get- They have changed the way people live their lives.
Yeah.
So I think these are limiting statements. You can change the way talk show is being made.
That's true.
You can change the world, that people can be in the comfort of their home, people can be driving and be having talk shows, and the world is listening. So I think a lot of us, we limit ourselves, and there should be no limits.
True.
Like, just open yourself. There are endless opportunities. You know, I heard research says that humans use less than 10% of their brain capacity. Less than 10.
We're not even at 10. If we use 10,
I think a lot of us is just 1%.
1%, yeah.
Imagine if you use 9.
9.
And I think people who use more than the average percentage
genius.
are the ones we call genius.
Genius, yeah.
And you know, that word geniuses, I think that people who will call geniuses, they are not. They are only exhibiting what we were supposed to be exhibiting, only that we did not tap into that level of intelligence that they tap into. And because they tap, you know, what you do not know is a mystery to you.
Yeah.
Like, oh wow, you are so.
Mm-hmm.
But when you know that, it becomes like your everyday thing. Oh wow, it's normal. Like,
And geniuses weren't born geniuses too.
huh?
These geniuses, this people call geniuses, they weren't born geniuses too.
Well, yeah, they're not. They're like
Sorry about.
No, they're humans like us.
Like us.
We just think, oh, these people are special.
Special.
They are not. They are just. They only tap into a place that a lot of us do not tap into, and most times it's as a result of our environment.
Yeah.
And where we grew up from. So. But everybody's a genius if we get to that level. If we unlock certain levels of intelligence.
Yeah,
That's what I think.
Like,
And honestly, that's really the deal. And now let's even talk about how can you discover time, how can you discover your purpose. Like I read, your natural born abilities. What are the things that you're natural? See, it says one part says if he did not build it into you, he won't ask you to do it.
Yeah.
If God did not build it into, because purpose is always accompanied by the innate qualities and characteristics it requires. You have what you need to be who you are.
That's true.
What you love and desire to do naturally
Yeah.
is usually what you were born to do.
Yeah.
Now, these are just profound statements, but they're real. Somebody might say, oh, what if I'm just gonna be some people might say, oh, what if I just love watching porn? You were not born to watch porn. That is not your natural abilities. You have probably perverted it. How about you think of it that your purpose was to learn how to educate people on the right way, give people the right sexual education. Someone who's a pimp, what if your purpose is to be a human resource management, learn how to manage people, but you're doing it in the wrong way? You see, someone who's who's a drug addict, who likes to take weed, who likes to do cocaine. What if your actual abilities is to learn how to use local herbs as a source of medicine to heal wounds?
That's true.
So you see, they're like just
How you see it?
it's just how you see it, and you think people like what if people who you think that they are prostitutes and they sell their body? What if marketing is their actual, but not in the way they are going about it?
Yeah.
So these are like natural born abilities. These are things that probably you knew how to do, but you use them in the wrong way, which messes up everything. But again, everyone in this life is born with a purpose.
That's true.
You know, people will say, oh, not everybody can be a billionaire. I beg to differ. Everyone can be a billionaire and they'll still be
Enough money.
Yes, and there'll still be things to do. You know why? Because my business is cleaning service, which I have, and I am a billionaire in cleaning service. Your job is to be a carpenter, for instance. Now, and you become a billionaire in that. Yes, we're all billionaires. Doesn't mean we're going to sit down in our houses. What makes us billionaires is us doing that work. So when we come to a house and I am cleaning the floor, you are doing the carpentry work.
Yeah.
We're specializing in different things, and we all are making our money. Everybody is happy. I make my money. The one who's meant to do tiles comes, does the tiles.
Someone is cooking, provides food for these people to eat.
Yes.
Music is playing from someone who sings music to keep the blaze.
Exactly. Someone is out there doing the art just to make it so beautiful in the eyes and appealing.
Yep.
Everybody is doing their own thing. There's a sound engineer who, you know what, maybe do the sound engineer to make sure that the music someone else is singing is coming out.
Yeah.
So you see, like, everybody if you specialize in your gift, you work on your gift, we can all serve each other because no one was born with everything. That's why I cannot be a jack of all trades.
Yeah.
I am only a jack of all my trades and a master of all my trades.
Yeah.
And again, sometimes we have hidden gifts. For instance, I didn't know I was a writer.
Okay.
I only knew singing.
Yeah.
But it got to a point in singing where there were times I just couldn't find the right lyrics to suit a mood I was in. Like I was just in this mood that I don't find the right lyrics to just suit that mood. Then I resorted to writing. I would write about the moods I'm in. And I started doing that over and over again. I'm like, wow, there is something there, and I got it stuck. How about you blog about it? Boom, I did it. And I can call myself a writer because all I need to do is I could just sit down and describe something. It's just, you're just in a white paper, you're just in a red wine glass, but I'm good with words that I can use words to paint pictures. Those are the writers. Some people who are very eloquent in their speech, they can use words to paint pictures and you're like, oh wow, I didn't see this like this. They are born writers. They are born to write. So if you're out there listening, you know that you're good with words, that when you say something, when you say words, like you can just, like literally you can convince someone, even if they caught you red-handed stealing, you can literally convince someone, I did not steal, I was only attempting to do this, to do that. You're probably a born lawyer or a born, or someone who's meant to be a writer. Right. So they're just all this endless gifts and talents that we're not even using. We are just all stuck with a 9-to-5 job or go to a job, come back home, watch Netflix, sleep. The time is passing. Our years are going. And each day I just look at myself and I'm like, am I actually living a life of purpose? Because if you're not, life is going to be so boring and tiring.
I'm telling you.
Honestly.
I'm telling you.
There's just, I don't know if you have thoughts, but I just don't want to just go on and on talking.
Bro, honestly, this is your platform. This is your show.
Because I'm loving, because everything I'm saying are things I'm discovering about myself. And I don't want to live the average life. I don't want to be a mediocre. I want my children, I want my generation to be proud that there was someone like Divine. I just don't want to be just divine for them.
Who's divine?
See, I am divine. See that name? I am divine. It has to speak. It has to be on the footprint of them. I have to do things that just shows divinity.
Yes.
That just shows God. And I cannot be average, honestly. And so in whatever I'm doing, whether I'm cooking, I'm doing it with my whole being, because I know that is my trade. And I have to give it my best. Whether I am singing, that is my trade. I give it my all. Whether I am writing, it is my trade. Nothing else matters at that moment. I have to do that writing. If I'm teaching the kids, nothing else matters. I have to teach the kids with my everything. Like, I'm not doing, it's just one kid. It's everything I got. I love what I'm doing, honestly.
Yeah. Okay. So, I want us to go to a different section now.
Okay.
But before we do, I just want to say something just to add on to what you said. I love everything you said. Beautiful, very, very intelligent. Like, I would listen to you the whole day and not stop. But I think one other thing that's holding people back is the environment they surround themselves with. Let's use it for an example. When you were in Nigeria, there were so many divides. You said that. I loved it. Like, I was like, wow, you opened my eyes to a different way of seeing things. There were so many divides, so divine was common. No one actually, like, literally go to Nigeria and see like 1 million divines, and they were just all regular divines just walking around. And then you moved, you left Nigeria, you came here, where there's only one divine, and people started seeing you as unique.
Yeah.
And you said you realized that, oh wow, I am actually unique. I am not actually. So you see how that change of environment. This could be you not being living Nigeria or anywhere, but just moving out of where you are, where everyone is doing the same thing, and just picking yourself to a place where you're unique. I think it goes a long way.
Very true. You know, I had a blog post. I think that was my last blog post where I see on social media everybody just doing the same thing. Everybody just want to do like everybody does it. You're an Afro singer, you want to sing like Davido, you want to sing like Whiskey.
Yeah.
Everybody's doing the same thing. No, I wrote in the blog. I think it's called like, just take your chunk. You see how like
your chunk.
Just take.
Don't take the whole. Just
take your chunk. You see how like if you see a group of ants gathering, and there's a big pile of cake, and you just see one random ant just goes in there,
one small one,
and collect their
size,
go back,
that's it,
and maybe come back again, collect this. That's it. There's something called the niche. Have your niche. You don't need to do everything. One thing you will not catch me doing is doing Afro music. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, but you know that.
That is not me. I can do it, and from a musical standpoint, it will sound good, but no, I need to enjoy what I'm doing. That is not me. Yeah. I can do blues, I can do jazz, because those styles of music suit my voice, and I love them too. Yeah. So I'll give it my all, and of course, gospel, that is my like comfort zone. I love it, I can do it. But environment, like you said, it matters a lot. And the environment doesn't just really mean traveling to a different location. It's the people you surround yourself with, the books you read. You become what you see and what you hear.
That's true.
You become what you see and what you hear.
Yeah.
So, like the Bible says, faith comes by hearing. So, if you are always hearing someone telling you, bro, you cannot do it, I bet forget. That would be your reality.
That's true.
You know, my best friend lesson, one time, back when we were in college, she didn't know that she used to do this. There were times, I'm a daydreamer, I'm a big dreamer, I'm like always dreaming like, oh, I want to own an island and all of this. And then she keeps telling me, she keeps shoving up my dreams and everything, like, oh, you can't do that.
Not intentionally, but just...
She didn't know.
Yeah, jokingly, but...
Yeah, she was and then those things break me. So what I did was I stopped telling her. Because I'm like, you know what? These are my dreams. I know where I'm going to. I see it. You might not see the picture, but I know where I'm going to.
That's true.
So what I did, that one day we're just having fun, we're just talking, and then I brought it to her. I'm like, do you know that you always kill my dreams?
Oh.
She broke down. She was like, Divine, I'm so sorry. I'm like, it's fine. I'm just letting you know, because I told her that you have a strong influence on me. Your words to me have so much power, so you have to be careful with what you say. This was me telling my friend that your words have strong influence on me, so you have to be careful what you say. I know some of my friends that when I say something, they will take it. Yeah. So what I have to do is I have to think before I talk. I have to be very careful with the choice of words I use, because I don't want to break their spirit.
That's true.
If my friend is a billionaire, I'm definitely a billionaire too, because I want to build my friends up. So I'm very careful with what I say. So she had to know that her words were strong, so she had to be very careful. When I tell her, oh, I want to do this, she's like, yes, you can do this. But I am seeing in her face, in her mind, she's like, I don't know how possible.
But just say.
But I believe you. You are seeing the picture. I'm definitely not seeing the picture, but I believe in your picture, and yes, you can do it.
Yeah.
And that is a fuel. It's just taking me there. So like that, even if I never came to America, and then somebody pointed that out to me that, bro, you are divine. It's not just about your name. You are divine. Then I would think back. I'm like, oh wow, I'm actually. In fact, funny enough, before I came to America, I had a friend in Lagos there. His name is Jonathan, one of my best friends. And one time, Jonathan told me that I don't know how he put it, but he painted this picture to me that you were just uniquely made by God.
Oh, wow.
Like there is none like you. You're just uniquely. He painted this beautiful picture of me with his words.
That you didn't even.
I just sat and I'm like, it's finished. Funny enough, Difa does the same thing. He paints a picture of me to me that I really don't see.
See, yeah.
You know, there's this thing called like there's this 4-quadrant I learned in school. It's like there's one part divided into 4. One side of the quadrant is something you see about yourself, everybody sees, and that part of the quadrant is there are things only you see that people don't see. There's a third part of the quadrant that you don't see, people see that in you. People see that in you. People tell you, oh Lucky, you're great at this, but you're like, me, you don't even see that. But people see that. And then there's a fourth part that only God sees, nobody sees, you don't see, only God sees. And of course, it's when you get closer to God that you discover this part. Then on this third part where I don't see, people see, these, my friends, are my perfect mirror. They spotlight that. And sometimes Difa will just tell me things. You know, one day Difa was telling me, you know, I observe you so much, and then there are times you get into trouble. And I sit back and watch to see how you get out of the trouble. But somehow you get out of it. And he just be like, you're just divine. He and I would fight, and then he doesn't even understand how I just go about things. And I'm making peace, I'm laughing again. I would be sad one minute. He doesn't understand how I just get over things. And I don't understand that myself. But he painted this picture of me that you are so divine, you're unique, there's nobody like you. And that blew my mind away. And so it's like, I have that mentality in my mind that I am divine. Like, I can't help it.
Yeah.
Every time I say that, people are like, oh, here we go again. He keeps saying he's divine.
Well, you have to.
But
you have to.
It's more than just me seeing it. It's a fact that I see
it, yeah.
that there might be trouble here, but I scale through it because I know that I have a greater power in me. And it's not just about me being divine. You are divine as well. You listeners, you're unique in your own way.
Yeah.
You just need to discover.
That's true.
Nothing is really a mystery. Things are only mysteries because you don't know them.
You don't know them.
Once you discover them, they no longer become a mystery. Yeah. Nothing is really a mystery.
Yeah, nothing is.
Like the Bible says, there is nothing hidden under the sun.
Yeah.
So things are just there. You just need to discover it. And like, oh wow, I didn't know. Just discovering. Everything we're doing, science is just discovering. Science is just the art of discovering things. These things are already there. Atom had already always been there. And God created everything. They are just there.
For us to discover.
Just discover.
And what's killing us is the fact that what's affecting people is the fact that they just don't want to go through the whole stress of discovering themselves. Sure. They don't want to read about things. Like, do you know there were things that I thought I couldn't do? I thought I saw people doing it, and I just thought that it was too much for me to do, and I just, the moment I said, okay, let's do research, let's start, I gave myself the permission. Like this is what I always love to do. I give myself the permission to fail. Even starting this podcast, I gave myself the permission to fail. That look, start it. If you fail, you fail. You understand? So I'm already aware of failure that's coming, and I've given myself that permission, so it's not going to hold me back. And then when I started, I was like, oh, this is not as bad as I thought. This is not as difficult as I thought. This is not as, and you know, from there I even started, instead of failing, you know, now I've actually started growing and seeing signs like that. So
you know, recently, recently I'm beginning to not want to accept the fact of failing.
There's nothing like failure.
You know why I say that? Because I listen to like motivation speakers and like, oh, you will fail, you will fail, you will fail. And I'm thinking to myself that they are planting a seed in me, telling me that I will fail. And then that brings a room for when I do a mediocre job, and then I'll tag it as, oh, it's failure. I am learning from here, I'll go. No. See, this is personal for me.
Yeah.
I don't agree to failure. I'm not failing. I don't want to fail. I am not failing. Whatever you want to call failure, I am not accepting it as failure. I'm like, oh, I just like a new way to do something.
Yeah.
Like what other motivational speakers would say. But see that failing, like, I'm giving myself room to fail. Me, divine, I'm not failing. If I'm getting at it, and it means I have to strive for excellence.
Yeah.
probably my excellence might not meet up a standard, but once I get to that point where my excellence did not meet up a standard, then I increase it. I increase the work. I increase what I need to do just to get to that state of excellence. But just accepting that I'm definitely gonna fail. I don't want to accept it.
Yeah.
If it comes, then I'm like, it's an opportunity to learn, but
Yeah.
I'm not tagging it as failure. And honestly, Lucky, I must commend you because I never saw this about you. And see, that brings us to the second quadrant, what people don't see in you, but only you see in yourself. I never thought of you as as one who would own a talk show ever. But here you are doing it and you're loving it and you're giving us a platform. See, that could be another purpose of yours. You know how people think, oh, purpose is just all about doing. Probably your own doing could just be creating an environment for people to excel, for the world to see them. Probably that is also a gift on its own.
Yeah, thank you.
All you do, you know, one day Diva told me one day, he was like, Divine, I don't need to be on the spotlight. He said, Divine, the spotlight is for you. My job is to be at the backstage to make sure that everything is working out well. Oh boy, sorry. That's working. Yeah, just
Yeah.
he told me that, and I'm like, wait, that is so profound. He said, yes. He first said, Divine, my job, my purpose in your life
Yeah.
is to make sure you are on the spotlight. My job is to make sure that the background, that everything works out fine. That was so. He said this like
He's not trying to share the spotlight with you.
He's like, no, it's your thing.
That's
it's like,
genuine friendship.
Oh my, he never gets in my way.
Yeah.
But he's like pushing.
Go.
I think it was in April that I did a dance video, like cultural dance video, and it went viral. Like it had like thousands of 21,000 views on Facebook and share and everything. I just did a 15-minute dance, like 50-second dance.
Seconds, yeah.
I was like, this cultural dance, my regular Ijo dance. Guess who was the one who made the video? Difa. Guess who directed me? Him.
Difa.
He was like, of course I know the dance, I know what to do. But he was like, Divine,
you do better.
He's like, Divine, do it this way.
Yeah.
This is how you do it. Shake it at this point. I did it. He made the video. He was like, upload it now. He told me this is gonna get lots of views. I thought this boy was just crazy. I'm like, you know what? I don't even care. I'll just do it.
Yeah.
Mind blown. I couldn't even read the comments because comments got up to 1,000 and something.
Wow.
Who has the time to read comments? I couldn't read comments. I was like, oh wow, thank God. But it was so mind blowing that this same boy told me from the onset, my role in your life is to put you in the spotlight. I am not going to be there. I just stay in the back and make sure things work out. See, those are the kind of environment I want to be surrounded. So the environment doesn't usually be in a location, but with those friends that are there. Even Godson, it's so funny that Godson and I, we do similar things. We cook together. We know how to cook. We know how to do music.
Yeah.
His niche is he plays the drum. I don't play the drum. I just sing. But he sings and plays the drum. That is his. But it's so funny how he would always put me there. He would be like, Divine, you will go sing. He never gets in the. And I'm like, bro, you can do it. He's like, no, I can do it, but you know how to communicate to the crowd. I don't know how to communicate to the crowd. I can just be there and sing. But you communicate to the crowd. And so you do, and he'll be there. And you know what I did? When it comes to cooking, I'll tell people, Godson. Because that's true friendship.
You don't always take the spotlight. I mean, they want to give it to you, but you have to know when to.
Yeah, of course. And I think that's what makes one a true star. When you know that you have the spotlight on you, but you bring other people there.
Yeah.
So when it comes to cooking, I'm like, it's Godson. What I do is in our clothes, I'm like, bro, I give him like there are some terms I use. If I say, guy, stand and cook this food, or sit down and cook this food, he knows what that means. I don't need to explain. You probably don't know what that means, but he definitely knows what that means. Or if he made a food and I'm giving him a feedback, I'm like, bro, you stand cook this food, or bro, you sit down cook this food. He knows what that means. And he takes that cue and improves on that. And I go back to him for feedback, like, guy, what do you think about it and everything? That is true friendship. There is no room for competition. And this all ties back to environment for fulfilling purpose.
Yeah.
Surround yourself with the right people.
That's true.
And you think greatly. If you surround yourself with the wrong people who want to compete with you, I've been there before, and like I personally do not like competition.
Yes.
Because it just distorts me. Let's have healthy competition. Our competition is we challenge ourselves. Okay, I got this grade. I got A on this. You got a B. No, this wasn't what we told ourselves. We have to get A's together. So move. One last thing. My close friend Blessing, she and I, we always had healthy competition. In that sense, is we gave ourselves like a yardstick that these were the grades we were going to graduate with. So you can't get below this, you can't get below this for a semester. Guess what? She and I graduated with the same grades, with the same honor grades in our undergraduate.
Even if it was two different majors.
Two different majors, but we graduated with the same honor grades there because one semester. So it turned out that the fall semesters were my semesters.
Yeah.
They were the semesters I got all A's. Spring semesters were just her semesters where she got all A's. I don't know how it happened, but I never liked spring semesters. She loved spring. I love fall. It just worked out that we got the same thing, but we give ourselves healthy competitions.
Yeah.
Okay, we can't go below this. We can't settle for this. Healthy like that. We are moving, and I think those are the environments I want to surround myself with friends who are ready to uplift me, and I do the same too. Like, oh bro, you're better than this. You can't settle for less. You're a king. You're a queen. Why are you settling for that? Move on, higher dimension. That's what we're aiming.
A friend of mine was a very good friend of mine. We don't use the name. It's funny how some people are so negative that they try to bring you down, and
it's called insecurity.
Like, that's the perfect word for it. I'm trying not to use the name here. Two very close friends of mine. They used to do the same thing, well, like this. And then I was on the phone with one, and they were battling with something. They have the same careers, and one is doing well and the other is not doing well. And the one that's doing well is trying to carry the other one along, like, we can still make this happen, okay? And even in the midst of that, he was telling me, he didn't know what this guy was trying to do to him, that this guy was trying to bring him down. But I had the conversation like, nah, this guy is trying to bring you down. Like, he knows this guy's weak point. He knows what he will say to this guy that would affect him. He knows what he will say to this guy that will, instead of making this guy try to succeed more, this guy will now start blaming himself for their failure. You get, right? And that would affect him, that would make him sad. So long story short, he was like, we were having this conversation and I was talking, and then the next thing he said, now I know the reason why we failed, it was because of you. And I'm like, oh shit, like, did someone just tell you that? And I'm like, how do you still be friends with? To him, it was just a normal, because he's been in this conversation so much that he's been living with it. That's what he eats, hears, and that negativity just fills him up that he didn't even notice it. The first day he told me, I'm like, guy, pack your load and leave. Like, you don't want to be, I don't care what this person has done for you. I don't care what this guy has given to you. I don't care what he has done. Like, you don't owe this guy anything. Like, how? Yeah, it's sad, and this guy is like, and he's trying to share the spotlight with this guy. I understand it, but sometimes you just have to realize and be happy for this other person and say, oh yeah, I'm happy for you. This is your time. Go for it, And then maybe when you get to the top, you remember me. You understand, right? That's good. If you don't remember me, it's okay, but I'm doing this out of love than trying to bring, like, this guy was literally, he called me because he was down and wanted to talk to me, because I'm the type that always uplifts people, you get, right? I was like, guy, like, I see your problem. Your problem is this guy. Your problem is not even yourself. You got yourself. But this guy is holding you back. This guy is holding you back. And until you let him go, you will not get to that level that you're supposed to originally be on.
I think people should focus on their strength, and just focus on their strength and just develop their strength, and do not try to be anybody else. Did you know that I have had my close friends who at some point tried to put me in a box? This is how you should be. Mm-hmm. This is how you should portray yourself. No! I told a friend of mine, if this is how you're gonna do to me, then we cannot be friends. Don't box me. I'm divine. God knew why He made me the way He made me. If we go out to a party, and I love the party, I am going.